Greetings, I'm Jason. Welcome to Dude's Comic Haul. This is my weekly video where I share with you the new books I picked up this week on the best day of the week, New Comic Book Day. So, without further ado, let's get into the books this week. I got 12. Would have been 13, but my shop didn't get Batman Eternal in, so I'm going to get that next week. And it was interesting because I've got so used to having Batman every week, and luckily there was another Batman book this week, but I did kind of think, oh god, no Batman, and you kind of then realise how used you've got to having it each week, and it's I think it's going to be a good side effect for DC of getting that hunger and get that use of having Batman there every week, and then when the series stops you'll still want that. I don't really credit DC with having the forward planning to kind of have that be an effect, but I do think that that's an interesting side effect to this whole weekly thing. Anywho, first things first, I picked this up from my comic book shop. It is Avengers, XMen, Axis, the March to Axis. I do like how they do this because look, you flip the card the other way and it still says Axis, which I really like that. I think that's really clever how they've done that. These are the books that are coming out in September that are gonna see our march to Axis. We have Uncanny Avengers, Lowkey, Agent of Asgard, Magneto, and Captain America. It's typical of comics in the year 2014 that before the current story, big story's finished, we're already looking towards the next one. So yeah. Anywho, now 2 books I got off the shelf this week. The rest of the books were off my pull list. We've got Batman 66, issue number 14. Since Batman Day, I've just had a real hunger for Batman, and I've devoured any kind of Batman book I can get my hands on. And I've gone back to this book, and I really enjoy it. It's a totally different take on Batman. Now, I'm going to make myself sound really old here, but as a kid I can remember watching reruns of this show on TV, and for me as a kid, Batman, this was Batman. This tone of Batman, this lighter tone, that was Batman. It was only I can only remember Batman going darker when the Tim Burton film came out, and okay, maybe he was already going dark because of the whole Frank Miller stuff, but certainly for me, him going dark was with the Frank Miller film. That was a lot darker type of Batman than what we'd grown used to from the 60s. And then you had the Batman animated series, which continued on those lines. So Batman became a dark character that we know today, that he's this dark character. And you know, but this reminds me of my childhood because this is how Batman was way back when. And I do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's nothing to take too seriously. I think if you're a fan, if you've seen the TV show, the verbiage and the way it's written is very much in tune with that, and Jeff Barker does a really good job of capturing that. The only downfall with this book is every issue it's kind of a different artist. Not even every issue, every story it's a different artist, and that can be a bit tricky. It's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes you'll get a good artist, sometimes not so good. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun, that book is, and I've added that to my pull list. So yeah, another book I've added to my pull list, but I picked off the shelf this month, is Doctor Who, issue number 2. This is the 10th Doctor Adventures. I really like that cover. There's something in the back here. About these 4 different prints this artist has done. Which looks interesting because they are really nice covers. I enjoyed the first issue of this. I'm a big fan of Doctor Who, a massive fan of Doctor Who, but I've never been able to get into the into the comics. I've read novels and I've enjoyed the novels I've read of Doctor Who. I've enjoyed the TV show, watch it over and over, but I've just never been able to get into the actual comics. So the first issue of this was a real surprise, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. With now the books that I have off my pull list, we have Aquaman issue number 34. I've just got this horrible feeling we're going to get some kind of big showdown with him and Chimera, and just as we get into the interesting bit, there's going to be a cliffhanger. that I'm going to have to wait 2 months to see resolved. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying Aquaman. It's written by Jeff Parker, who also writes Batman 66. So, and this is a totally different kind of book to what he writes, and shows his versatility as a writer. Batman 66 and this, they're totally kind of different kind of books. So that's always interesting to see different sides of writers. We then have Future's End, issue number 17. Really enjoying this series. Last issue, our Superman in 5 years in the future, this side, isn't he? He wears this mask because after the Earth 1, Earth 2 war, something happened and he wears this mask. Last issue, he's back all with Rampage. The mask got damaged. So hopefully we're going to learn a little bit more about him. Last issue was really good as we started to get some answers, so I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's really been really good. Future's End. It's like I keep saying, it was a book I wasn't going to get, but it's been brilliant and I'm glad I am getting it. Even though I'm not completely sold on this whole weekly thing and don't think I'd get into it again if they did this in the future. We then have The Flash, issue number 34. I've been enjoying this. The present day stuff, not so much as the future stuff. But I'm hoping that we're kind of reaching a point. And again, I got this horrible feeling we're going to get to this big point where future Flash catches up with present day Flash. And we're going to have that big cliffhanger and we're going to have to wait 2 months. But anyway, I've been enjoying this, especially because of the art. I think Brett Booth, I am falling in love with his art more and more as the issues go by, and I'm definitely going to have to track down more things that he's worked on. Jumping over to Image now, we have Saga, issue number 22. This book, last issue was an improvement. I thought it was getting better. This arc has been very different, not only because it's the breakup of Marco and Alana, but it's also the first time that they're not on the run, that they're actually somewhere safe. And you can see that all beginning to crash down as bits of the story start coming together. But yeah, and also a lot of our extra characters we're not seeing this time out, so that I think that's had an effect on the book as well. But yeah, I'm still enjoying Saga. I don't think it's reached the heights that it was in the early days, but I'm still really enjoying this book and gonna keep picking it up. Then we have all new XMen, issue number 31, which I have absolutely no clue what goes on in this week. Last issue we had I think Angel and X-23 looked like they hooked up, and we had that whole showdown with Emma Frost and Jean Grey, which was cool. So, but this issue, I don't know. I do like that cover with Iceman, a young Iceman. I do like. He's one of my favourite characters in this because he is so funny. He's so goofy. We then have the Amazing Spider-Man learning to crawl. We've not had one of these for about a month, I think, but I've been enjoying these. Kind of a lost tale from the early days of Spider-Man and this new villain called the Clash. His story kind of reminds me a bit of Electro's story from Amazing Spider-Man 2. It does remind me a bit of that, of like a kind of a misunderstanding, if you will. But I'm enjoying this. I like the way that they write it, the verbiage, the way it's drawn. It has that whole feel of being of its time, of the early days of Spider-Man. So I've really been enjoying these learning to crawl stories. We then have Fantastic Four, issue number 9. Robertson's been doing a great job. I'm not sure about that cover. What's going on there with the Human Torch? The original Human Torch, that is. I know he's an android, but come on, I don't know. I don't like that cover, but this has been a really good book, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next. Guardians of the Galaxy, issue number 18. This is the original Sin crossover issue, and I'm really looking forward to this. You've got Thanos, you've got Richard Rider, who is a Nova, who I think, was he the first Earth Nova? I don't know. I don't know too much about him, so I'm really looking forward to this to find out what's happened to him and a bit more about him as well. This has the potential to be very good. Looking forward to that. We then have Thor and Lowkey, the 10th Realm, issue number 4. This series hasn't really been thrilling me yet, but I'm hoping the last couple of issues it's going to turn me around. And finally we have Uncanny Avengers, issue number 23. This, I think, is the book I'm most looking forward to this week. I've really been enjoying Rick Remender's run on the book, and this issue I think we're going to get all the fallout from the previous issues. and the big events of last issue. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen to our team as we go forward into Axis. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I am a bit nervous because we've got a different artist, and usually we have Daniel Acuna, and he not only draws the book, but he does the inks, he does the colours. So it's like a total kind of approach to the book where he has a vision for it art-wise, and he just can go with that. Where this issue now, we've got like an artist and we've got a colorist. Dean White on colors, he's a good colorist, but yeah, you're kind of a bit nervous because this Sanford Green I've not heard of, so we'll see. But that's one I'm looking forward to. So those are my comics for this week. I'll get into reading those. Hopefully I should have my review up some point of the weekend. Most likely it'll be Sunday. Possibly if I can get my books finished early, it may be Friday, but I'd look more towards it being Sunday. Yeah, so yeah, there's nothing else I really want to say. So just say thank you very much for watching my video. Please, if you liked it, please give me those beautiful thumbs up and let me know that you like what I'm doing. Please, if you don't like what I'm doing, let me know in the comments below and let me know what you don't like. Yeah, so that's everything. I'm Jason. This has been Dude's Comic Haul. Bye for now.